Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to this episode of the Pre-Market Show. We have a very extra special guest for you today. It is none other than Alex Lera. We will be interviewing Alex shortly, and we also will open it up for any questions that you may have for Alex during the show. But without further ado, let's get over to the show. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to this episode of the Pre-Market Show. Remember that nothing that is said during this show should be construed as investment advice. You're responsible for your own investment decisions. Please consult with a financial advisor before making any decisions based on topics mentioned in this show. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. All right, let's bring on Andrew. Andrew, how are you doing today, man?
Afternoon, all. Yeah, well, what's going on? So we're here, we're live. It's Friday, made it through another week. And how's the trading been for yourself?
It's been good. It's been a very good week. We've had quite a bit of back and forth, and we ended up getting a few earnings plays in. But I see somebody's just joined us backstage. Should we? Do you want to bring on our guest, Andrew?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what everyone's waiting for. So yeah, let's bring Alex on the show.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, none other than Alex Lera. Alex, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys.
How's it going?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, nice to have you.
Welcome back. How things, Alex?
Thank you. Yeah, very good. How are you guys doing?
We're good. It's been a long time. It's been a very, very long time. I was just talking to Andrew before we started, just saying that we had over 100,000 views with the last time that you were on the show.
Wow.
And so you have a very big following. Yeah, very, very big following. So can you share with us how has your trading been going so far this year?
Not sure if saying how it has been this year, because we're barely still at the beginning of the year, but I would say that within the last 12 months a lot of things have changed in my trading style, also in my life. I moved to another city, sort of like started a new life, and trading has suffered some modifications, I would say, but it's good. I don't trade the volumes that I used to trade, because I just realized that I need more of my sanity to be intact. And when you're opening trades with big lots, the heart kind of races. But it's been going out really well. It's good that it's consistent, and that's all that matters.
Are you still using ICT for trading?
Still using ICT trading, yes.
So just for the guys in the chat, do you want to give a quick overview of ICT? Just a quick minute or so. That's all. Just so the guys have an idea how you trade.
Okay, so in my opinion, ICT, like I said in our previous podcast that we did together, ICT is an entire encyclopedia. You can't really grasp, unless you're ICT himself, all the trading concepts that he teaches and that he has been teaching for the past, 10 years, 12 years. However, the way that I trade, I just pick levels, tops and bottoms, wait for price to pierce one of them, and then I just wait for SMT divergence. For anyone who doesn't know the term, SMT divergence is basically when you have a divergence between two directly correlated assets. So for those who don't know, I usually trade gold. So if I trade gold, then a directly correlated asset that I like to use for the SMT divergence is silver. So for example, let's say that I'll have gold creating a higher high, and then I'll have silver creating a lower high. Then I'm just going to wait for some sort of a displacement, an imbalance to the downside on gold, or any sort of market structure shift or anything like that. And then I'm going to look to take short setups. Of course, like I said, provided that we've taken some buy side liquidity from the left side of the chart. So the strategy has, the rules that I use have simplified quite a lot. And it's I don't know. It's what I'm trying to do with my whole life. Just make it more simple,
Yeah, no,
including with my trading.
yeah. No, I've had the same ourselves. Obviously, Mandela and I both trade the opening range breakout, and I've noticed, especially in the last 3 to 4 months, definitely been some need to modify it, right? Need to adapt with the markets. January was quite tough for the opening range breakout. Seems to be back in sync now, but everything that's going on in the Middle East and the world, definitely throws a spanner in the works. Somewhere along the day, some tweet, some news headline, will definitely get the price to seesaw, or to take a dive or go in the wrong direction. So
Yeah.
it's probably one of the toughest times to be a trader right now, I think, especially if
Yeah.
you've been in the groove of strategy, for many months or many years.
I do agree, and that's why I believe that now more than ever there is a real need to simplify trading, to simplify your trading approach. You guys know that I was never a believer of the fact that trading is something easy. Even though my slogan is RBV, Forex Made Easy, but it's more like trading doesn't have to be complicated. That's what I mean with my slogan, Trading Made Easy. So it's more like trading has to be simplified because we already live a very complicated life. We're already bombarded with a lot of complications from all over the place. We live in big cities. Well, not me anymore, because that's why I made the shift and I moved to a smaller city, to a very, like, I would say, like, not really like a closed community, but a very small community compared to the, big city life I was living in previously. And I can only say that it brought me that exact thing that you're starting to look for after 40s, which is peace. Peace and just not having to worry for anything. And I think it's exactly what we should do with trading. Just simplify the rules that you're using, simplify the way that you're looking at charts, because you can never go wrong with simple things. Never.
Yeah, it's so true. It's like there's so much value in simplicity. And I remember the first time we had you on the show, Alex, and I'm going to keep mentioning that because it was a great show. But I remember you saying that slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Yes, exactly.
And it's kind of like the same thing where, like, if you can simplify things and do them properly, then you end up in a better position at the end.
Exactly. Also, the thing is that whenever you simplify things in your life, with your routine, with your fitness, with your nutrition, with your relationships, and with your trading especially, when you simplify things, it's going to be a lot easier for you to stick to those things, because we're more attracted to simplicity. We tend to move away from pain, from things that are not the way we want them to, from things that are not how we want them to be. So if you're seeing that you're using overcomplicated rules, or you're waiting for too many confirmations, and then the price moves away, and you can see that, oh, if I would have removed this confirmation rule, then I would have been able to enter the trade. Or, if you just stick to simple rules, you're going to be more prone to respect those rules. It's just common sense, and it's the way human mind works with everything.
Yeah, no, definitely agree. And that's really good advice for our chat. So a lot of the chat, a lot of our viewers right now, I'd say a lot of them are beginner traders, and they all go down the rabbit hole of, they look at SMC, ICT, order blocks, indicators. And me and Mandela keep banging the drum, keep it as simple as you can, right, and find what works for you.
Exactly.
So are you still trading personal accounts, or are you looking at any prop firms at the moment?
Prop firms and a personal account, but mainly I'm focusing on prop firms, because it would be really stupid not to leverage prop firms as much as possible, especially because when I was first in your podcast, prop firms had less rules than they have now. But in my opinion, those rules were, I don't know, way over the head. I don't know. Like, especially the rule where you were supposed to pass in 30 days.
Yeah.
That was something that I just couldn't live with. However, right now you have unlimited time to pass. The prices of a $50,000 challenge account has reduced by 5 times since, I don't know, 2 years ago when we first had our podcast. I think it's 2 years, maybe more. Can't remember exactly. Because 2-3 years ago you would have paid $500-$600 for a 50K challenge account. Now you can get one for around $100. So it just doesn't make any sense not to benefit from that.
Yeah,
So I'm just leveraging big time on prop firm accounts, and I think that this is what everyone should look into.
Yeah,
no,
definitely.
I agree. I've just pulled it up for it. It was 2 years, almost to the month.
2 years
Yeah,
ago. Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Yeah, just going to say, so today we're sponsored by a prop firm today, so City Traders Imperium. So I don't know if you've had a look at them. They're a Forex prop firm, and they've probably got some of the best deals on the market at the moment. I was only waxing lyrical about them last week with the 3-step challenge they were doing, and it was, I think you start off with 100K, and it was starting at $40, and it was like a pay-as-you-go system. So as you pass each stage, then you actually pay. So you pay for the next challenge. And I was only saying last week, I can remember when I first started out for 100K account, it was like $1,000, and pass or fail, your money was gone, right?
Yeah.
So City Traders Imperium, they've just been a bit of a game changer. So definitely worth having a look at them, Alex.
Yeah, I definitely will.
Actually, I'm glad that you mentioned that, Andrew, because we're going to actually start the prize giveaway. So thank you to everybody who has joined the competition for today. And we're going to have a duck race as we speak to Alex. So everybody who has joined, we're going to just put you into the starting lineup, and we'll make this about 10 minutes long. So the winner will receive a $5,000 account courtesy of our sponsors, City Traders Imperium. So all the best, everybody. We'll come back to this in about 10 minutes time just to see who has won. Good luck. Do you want to pick a number, Alex? A number, any number?
Any number from
from 1 to 10.
From 1 to 10, always 7. Always 7.
Okay. Alex is going to 7. What about you, Andrew? Any number?
Yeah, I'll go for number 3. Come on, number 3.
Okay, and I'll go for 10. There we go.
Go for the pink duck.
Also, just wanted to remind everybody in the live chat, if you have questions for Alex, feel free to ask as we proceed.
Yeah, get your questions in. So with myself, Alex, I've been looking at futures probably since we last spoke. So,
Yes.
Yeah, going to the futures market. Yeah, quite enjoying that, and it seems to work quite nicely with the opening range breakout that Mandela and I trade. Due to CTI and the offers they run probably like every week or every other week, slowly get myself back into Forex. But there actually is a difference between futures and Forex I'm finding at the moment, especially with the platforms. I going back from TradingView to MT5, back and forth, trying to use your phone, it's can be a little bit challenging, but yeah, something I'm looking to get back into. So are you just trading Forex or futures, options? Are you trading multiple?
No, I'm actually only trading futures right now. Gold futures and also NQ futures, micro NQ. And I've just started, it hasn't been such a long time since I've started trading NQ indices. But it's been going out pretty well. I was a little scared that some of the concepts that I'm using are not going to apply exactly the way I'm used to applying them because of the new week open gap, new day open gap, electronic trading hours, and regular trading hours. But actually, it's just the same thing. I believe that if you just stick to trading the New York time, like either the AM session or the PM session, you're going to be fine, no matter what market you choose to trade.
Yeah.
Do you still use the silver bullet as a
Yes.
mean time? Okay.
I do, exactly. I do. If I don't see a setup that's convincing, happening, I don't know, anywhere in between 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m., maybe 9:30 or 9:45, then I'll just patiently wait for something to present itself during the silver bullet hour, which is from 10 to 11 a.m. New York time.
And just for the chat, can you just quickly explain what the silver bullet is, the ICT concept?
Yes, sure. So silver bullet, it seems as it's easy to spot a silver bullet setup. Mainly you're looking at, or you're allowing the price action starting from 8:30 a.m. till 10 a.m. You're allowing that price action, that piece of price action to develop. And you're mainly looking for liquidity to be taken or swept. So for example, let's say that starting from 8:30 or 9 a.m. or even 9:15, 9:30 a.m. New York time, price starts to hoover up. And let's say to the left side, we see like swing high being taken out, whether we're talking about the high of the previous session or the high of the previous day or the high of the previous week. And you just wait for price to take out that buy side liquidity. And then you're going to go drop to the 1 minute chart and you're going to start looking for a bearish shift in market structure, preferably with a bearish fair value gap. So with a bearish imbalance. And basically the silver bullet is going to be that bearish fair value gap that's going to form in the opposite direction to where the market was taken previous to 10 a.m. or 10:15. 10:15, 10:30. So anywhere in between 10 and 11 a.m., you're going to see price starting to create bearish imbalances, bearish fair value gaps, basically start to create lower lows and lower highs on the 1 minute, which is going to be opposite to where the market went to prior to that. And obviously vice versa, if price is bearish and you're looking at it taking out sell side liquidity from the left side of the chart and then starting to form higher highs and higher lows on the 1 minute, then you're going to wait for a pullback into a 1 minute bullish fair value gap, and that's going to be your silver bullet setup.
Very cool. And just to confirm, are you doing this with either gold or NQ or both?
I'm doing this either gold or NQ. I'm watching them both, but okay. I'm trading right now, for example, on one prop firm, I'm trading gold. And on another prop firm, I'm still not allowed to trade gold because of the volatility. And that's where I trade NQ. So I watch them both, but they're not correlated. So I can't, for example, go long on both of them at the same time. Also, you're not going to see like the same setup presenting on two different assets, especially because we're talking about two different asset classes. Like it's not like I'm talking silver versus gold versus platinum, which are old metals. We're talking about metals versus index, so quite different.
I do remember from last time you were talking about the correlation between silver and gold, and I think you were using silver to give you, I guess, confidence in your gold trade. Mm-hmm. Do you still use silver as almost like a convergent indicator?
Yeah, it's my indicator. So to me, silver is an indicator so think about it like this. Let's say gold is creating higher highs and higher lows, right? So at this point, we could say that gold is indicating strength. If I see silver creating lower highs and lower lows, especially on the smaller time frames, because I am a intraday trader, short-term trader, then I'm going to have more confidence that most likely the move to the upside that I can see on gold could actually be a liquidity sweep. So then if I look to the left side of the chart and I see some, like I said earlier, session high or daily high or previous week's high being taken out, and I see gold indicating strength, but silver indicating weakness. In other words, silver is having a hard time breaking higher, it's actually starting to push lower, then that's going to give me an indication that silver is weakening. Therefore, most likely, gold will also soon follow suit because it took buy side liquidity from the left side of the chart, and it's likely the smart money are going to start to reprice it lower. So basically just using that buy side to pair it with smart money short orders. And then I'm looking for a sell side liquidity level to the left side of the chart prior to 8:30 a.m. That I could look into as my target. So my trading is
Nice,
pretty
nice.
simple. Pretty simple.
Yeah, that does sound very simple. And one thing I learned from you was that silver is more volatile. So it almost like it'll give you the clue. It'll give you the hint earlier because it's going to move more.
Exactly. And besides this, silver is the one that it's not that manipulated as gold is. So whenever
Yeah,
you're seeing
yeah.
strength or weakness on silver, you better believe that it's actually the pair that tells the truth, and that making gold the pair that lies, quote unquote.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, the silver market would be a lot smaller. And no, that's extremely helpful. So thank you for explaining that. We do have the ducks that are about to finish up in about 1 minute. So thanks again to everybody who has joined. And just a reminder, we do have a live chat. So if you have questions, feel free to let us know. We're gonna probably just see if number 7 looks like number 7's in front. Alex, your duck is winning. Did you put any money down on it? That's the main question.
Of course I have.
Very nice. Very nice. We'll just leave this up for the last minute. Okay, so I guess another question I was going to ask you is what do you do for fun? We know the trading aspect. We know how stressful and difficult that can be. But what is kind of like your fun thing to do when you're not trading?
My fun thing to do when I'm not trading, well, I'm really invested mentally, physically, and everything into not necessarily bodybuilding, but gym stuff, gym, nutrition.
Okay.
Really take care of this. So I'm trying to build muscle mass. I have been building muscle mass within the last 2 years, I guess. And ever since I moved to where I'm currently at, this city, I've really focused a lot on gaining more strength. So I'm basically training a lot. I see this as a fun stuff. I also see it as a fun stuff, supporting my partner to create fun reels for his business, which is also really cool. And I have a big garden. I don't know if you guys can see here.
Yeah, it looks very sunny. That is very big as well. Very nice.
And we do have trees and flowers and stuff in here. So I just enjoy, I would say, sort of like
that's good.
Simple country life.
You look a lot more relaxed. You look a lot more relaxed.
Yeah, I am, to be honest. I really am.
Beautiful. Well, let's congratulate Christy 8. So none of us won, which is, I guess that's fair. So Christy 8, congratulations on winning your $5,000 account, and you will be getting your logins very, very shortly.
Okay, just got a question over that Signature FX, Mandela, if you want to pull the question up.
Okay, here we go, Alex. This is probably for you. So love the focus on simplicity. Is the ICT a largely discretionary strategy? To what extent can the analytical steps be automated? That's coming from Nora Bala. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Nora, for the question. I wouldn't say that ICT is a strategy. Like I said, ICT is a cult. You could look at ICT as a cult, really. No jokes about this. Because he has so many concepts and so many followers. And to be honest, I do not think that there are too many trading gurus or trading influencers that are trading pure price action. Those kind of traders that you see that they have a big following and that are using terms like imbalance or liquidity or market structure shift or change of character or order blocks or a breaker blocks. I don't think that there is one single person that has not learned what they know from ICT's content. So first, I just want to, say that ICT is not a strategy in itself, but it's more like a cult. He's the mentor of every mentor, using pure price action. So now that we got that out of the way, I would say that you could create. I also have people in my group, in my private community, that have created indicators using simple drawing tools like lines and rectangles to help pinpoint certain price levels, like, for example, the open price of the day, open price of the week, to highlight the daily high, the daily low, weekly low session, high session low. You can use ICT concepts to automate them in the form of an indicator or drawing tools that are going to automatically show you potential levels from where the market could react. However, I truly believe that if you're using ICT stuff, ICT concepts, you really need to be there, especially because this type of trading requires you to trade the smaller time frames, which we know that are rapid changes take place on the smaller time frames. So I would say you could automate it, but there is still need for your input. And I would say that, yeah, maybe it's better to be there in person. Also, if you're a real trader, if you really love to trade, like be obsessed with it, why would you want to automate it like completely? I wouldn't want that. Of course, I do want tools that are going to help me, plot lines on the chart for me so that I don't have to do that over and over again every day, because it's just a waste of time if I can use a tool to do that for me automatically. But I would never, ever, ever want to have an expert advisor, an EA, make the trading decision for me whenever we're talking about ICT concepts. I have built, and I'm still testing it, an expert advisor. I've named it Monkey, and it's been doing a really good job. It already passed a challenge account, and I've been, really it's been struggling to build, its balance for the first payout. And it's just going back and forth. But it's going out really well because it has a 90% consistency score, which is absolutely amazing. That's purely automatic, purely like 100% automated. However, it's not using ICT concepts. It's just using support resistance, some MACD, some relative strength index. So it's just, I don't think that you can fully automate price action trading. Never. I don't think you can. And whoever says that they can do it, I would have a question for them. Why do you think ICT has not done something like that thus far?
Yeah,
That's a good answer. Yeah,
okay, so another question in the chat. I just want to say I need to go. Alex,
okay,
great to see you again. Hopefully you'll join us again soon. And good luck with the trading, guys. Right, I'll catch you soon. Thank you.
Cheers,
thanks, Alex.
Andrew, bye.
Okay. How are you for time? Do you have a few more minutes? Because I know you.
Yeah,
okay.
Of course. Yeah, I do. Till.
Are you trading? Are you trading the New York Open?
I'm going to trade the New York Open, but usually I'm just watching the first half an hour. I'm not necessarily engaging. Okay. So we're still fine for at least half an hour more.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, so this question's from BDA Home. Thank you for your question. I watch YouTube a lot and I have mentors trading who are male, and seems like it's a male-dominated industry. How do you see this from a woman's perspective as a trader?
BDA Home, thank you for your question. I used to believe that it is a male-dominated space. However, I don't believe that anymore. And the reason is that you're mentioning YouTube, and I'm probably thinking that you're not only watching them on YouTube, you're also probably watching them on Instagram, TikTok. So we all know that algorithms, like social media algorithms, will serve you whatever you're consuming. So if you're consuming trading content coming from male influencers or from male traders, that's probably what the algorithm will keep serving you. But to be honest, I've found a ton of female traders who have a huge following within the past, I think, about 2 weeks. It's enough to just look for one or two people, like one or two female traders on any social media platform, and then I can promise you that the algorithm is going to serve you more and more content coming from female traders. Now, like I said, I used to think that it is a male-dominated space until I've actually come to see that there are actually a lot of women involved. Now, to give you my perspective from my view from a woman's perspective, Um, I think there's room for anyone, for everyone under the sun. And I don't think that it matters whether you're a man or a woman trading. Um, Maybe we tend to be a little more protected. I don't think that you will ever see male traders attack the way a woman trades. Like, for example, let's just imagine right now that I reach ICT's following size, like 2 million followers, subscribers on YouTube. Yay! I only have 13,000 so far, so not that much. And let's just say that I'm going to hit 500,000 subscribers on Instagram. I don't think that there's going to be too many male traders attacking the way I trade or attacking or mocking me just because I'm a woman, you know? So I think that from this point of view, we are a little bit more protected. And I don't think that male will usually jump into fights or, debates with female traders, or at least this is what I hope.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. So I want to add on to that question because I think it is topical, and some of our viewers are women, and they've kind of expressed to me, they don't have a lot of other women to network with. So what advice would you give, let's just say an up and coming trader, somebody who's just stumbled across this and is like, information overload. I don't know where to start. Is this real? Is this a scam? Can you actually make money from this? So what advice would you give anyone who's watching this, who is a beginner and kind of wants to know how should they start and how can they be successful?
I think first you need to understand that trading has to complement your life and not vice versa. You should not give up on the things that you love or the things that require your daily attention, your daily involvement, like family, kids, job, a passion, whether you have already a business or something like that. If there is something that needs your constant attention and involvement, you need to understand that you should not give that up unless you specifically hate it. And that's what I would say. Yeah, just go for it. Give up that thing because it's definitely not doing you any good. But if you have family, kids, if there is a certain schedule that you live your life based on, like, for example, myself, I gave up trading the London session because it's morning here in my country, and I want to go to the gym. I want to do chores around the house. I want to go shopping for, the meals of the day that I'm gonna prepare. I want to, play with my cat. I want to take care of the garden and stuff like that. And those are the things that I want to do in the first part of my day. So that's why, even though I was exclusively trading London session a few years back, I gave up on that simply because I did not find myself in that way of scheduling my life. So if you have something that requires your daily attention and your daily involvement, you need to still keep that and make trading work as not a side hustle, because I wouldn't say that trading ever has to be a side hustle, but more like fit trading in your current schedule, not the other way around. We should not fit our life around trading. So if my kids need me, I don't have kids, but let's say it's the case. If my kids need me to pick them up from school, let's say when it's the beginning of the New York session, of course I'm going to prioritize my kids. And then I'm just going to pick another session to trade, right? So that, fits in that time of the day when I have free time. So first and foremost, the advice that I would give to anyone starting is first identify that those 2-3 hours, that window of 2-3 hours within the day when you are able to 100% focus on trading, focus on charts. The other thing that I would say is spend some time, maybe around a month, watching charts on a small time frame and at the same time on a big time frame. So every 2-3 hours, every day for 2-3 hours, watch in parallel one pair on the, let's say, 5 minutes chart, and then the same pair but on the 1 hour chart. And then try to observe what your mind and your brain and your eyes are more attracted to. If you feel more safe to, to be part of rapid price movements on the smaller time frames, or if you feel safer to look for steady price movements on the higher time frames. And this is going to tell you whether you need to be a short-term trader, an intraday trader, or even a scalper, or whether you need to look at swing trading, entries, watching the daily chart, the 4-hour chart, and entering on the 1-hour chart. So this is the second thing that I would say. Try to figure out if you feel anxiety when you see price moving fast. And if you do feel anxiety, then you need to step away from the smaller time frames and move on to the higher time frames, and just build this habit of not feeling that FOMO, that, oh, I need to participate in this move. Because, like I said at the beginning of this live stream, we as humans tend to move away from things that cause us unpleasant feelings and pain of all sorts. And to be honest, trading will always cause mental pain. It is the truth. But the thing is that if you can see that you can't really sustain that pain, you can move over it. If you can't go over it by looking, price just start to fly without you on the smaller time frames, or you cannot keep yourself from wanting to participate in a move that's happening too fast, then you really need to step away from that and move on to a higher time frame, like 30 minutes or 1 hour. And third thing that I would advise is find someone on YouTube or social media, whatever, who's going to be either a fast time frame trader or a slow time frame trader. So either a scalper, like you've identified that you don't feel anxiety when you're watching price action move fast on the smaller time frames, and you've decided, yes, I want to be a scalper, and find a person that has not such a big following, but a person online that has a big engagement. I try to stay away from people who have, I don't know, let's say 200, 300, 500,000 followers, but they only have like 20 comments on a Instagram reel, or like 15 comments on a YouTube video and 2,000 views. Whereas I will hoover more towards a person who has a smaller following, 20,000, 15,000, 50, even 50,000 followers, but they will have hundreds of comments, and they will have, like, for example, I don't know, someone having 15,000 followers or subscribers on YouTube having 20,000, 15,000, 50,000, 30,000 views on a video. I think that is real engagement, and that most likely the algorithm is just pushing that person forward because it's really providing value. Because otherwise, if there isn't a lot of value in a video, people will not watch it. So someone with a smaller following but with a lot of engagement will always be the proof that they're providing value. And yeah.
Thank you for sharing. And you mentioned one thing that stuck out to me, which was the psychology part. So I remember you saying that you have almost like two voices in your head.
Always.
I believe. And I remember this so well. I remember this. So would you be able to just, I guess, very briefly, just to explain, how do you deal with the psychology in a like a summarized way, I guess?
Of course. So in every trader's head, there's two people, always, all the time. Even though you haven't met those two people yet, I can assure you, if you're a trader, there's at least two people in your head. So there's going to be the technical analyst who wants to be right, who wants to move, doesn't care about it. It's like a tech guy who hasn't been out that much, who's still living in his PJs for like the past 3 days, hasn't taken a shower, and barely eats like chips and drinks one glass of water every 2 3 days,
Yeah.
and doesn't see sunlight and all of that. So that's the technical analyst who wants the hype of the move. He wants to be right. And then there's the other part, which is the trader who has a reason behind wanting to trade. He's motivated for providing for his family, for her family, or for herself. For example, I want to provide for an uplifted lifestyle. I want to buy things. I want to visit places. I want to be able to sustain this lifestyle for myself. And I always say I need to make a lot of money because I like expensive stuff. So this is something that motivates me. If I would have kids and a family, probably that would be my motivator. So this is the trader, who's not really interested in being right. The trader aspect of the trader psychology is not interested in catching the short from the very top or catching the long from the very bottom. It's not an egotistical aspect of the trader's mind. It's more like, I want to make money. I don't care how. I need to find a way to consistently make money. And it doesn't have to be the whole move. I don't have to jump in a trade from the very top or from the very bottom. That's something that belongs to the technical analyst, the guy that hasn't seen sunlight for like 3 days and doesn't care about money, cares only about the movement, the analysis. So I would say always prioritize the trader in you, that person who's motivated, or that personality who's motivated to make money for something that it's bigger than yourself, to provide for family, like I said, to fund your lifestyle, whatever you want that to be, but also give a little bit of attention and a little bit of focus every now and then to the technical analyst personality, because otherwise that personality is going to sabotage you, and they're going to say, well, if you don't want to take the buy from the very bottom, I'm not going to show you how you can do that. And then the trader won't make money,
Yeah, no, it's so true. And I sometimes hear them arguing or have that like internal battle where it's like, I wanna be right, but I also wanna not lose money today. And it's like, you have to kind of find that balance. And I love that analogy. I really love it. Okay.
The part where these two are really conflicting with each other is where, for example, for me, I have a target of making anywhere around $500 every day. So that's my target, $500 every day, and I'm pretty much done for the day. So if, let's say, I see a trade and I'm going to take profit, most of the profit, $500, $600, and then I'm going to leave a runner, and then price starts to move aggressively in my favor, but I'm only with a small runner in, I've already closed most of my position, then the technical analyst is going to come in and say, you should add more to your position, risk more, because you already have made $600. You should risk that all because look at it going. And that's where you really have to calm things.
Yeah, you can, I feel like now the more I do it and the more you're aware of that, the technical analyst that hasn't gotten any sunlight and doesn't drink anything other than Coca-Cola, you have to ignore that. You have to know it's there and then just ignore it and listen to the trader, because the trader is the one that's going to actually get you to pay those bills and have you make $500 consistently.
100% correct. I totally agree.
Okay, so we got a question here from our winner, Christy, still cruising all the way to the $5,000 account. And Christy's question for you, I think she's feeling good. Alex, what percentage of risk do you use during the challenge phase and after you've already been funded? Thank you.
The same $500. So usually I still keep 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. But I'm not going to risk that in a single trade. So for example, I'm going to risk about $200, $250 on one trade. If that first trade is going to be, a loser, then I still have one more shot. If I have 2 losses for the day, which sums up to about 1% from my account, then I'm going to be done for the day. And
Okay.
the same, if that trade goes to my profit, then I'm just probably going to be done for the day. So
Okay.
1 or 2 trades a day. If you have 2 losses, stop. If you have 1 win, stop. And that's about it. Risk
It's the
1%
simplicity.
a day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
risk 1%. The same theme, I think, keeping it simple and knowing that you don't have to pass the account. You don't have to get a payout today.
Oh my God, no.
You
Like
don't
if
need
I
it. You don't need it.
No, you don't. And if I would tell you how many failed challenges I've had or how close I've been to a lot of payouts, and then I've just
Yeah.
ruined it up because I said, no, I need to make $30 more, and with this trade, I'm going to make it. And then that one trade just completely collapses my psychology. And I said, no more. Really? Who's rushing me? Like, no one.
Yeah. Yeah. You have time, and that's it. Like slow and steady.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you what a really great gold trader told me. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Yes.
We have another comment. So thank you for the great answer. I think that one was in terms of women traders and your perspective on that. So I'm going to finish up because we got to get ready for the New York Open in a second. But I wanted to ask you, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, how do we get more access to Alex Lera? She's saying things we like. So how do people get involved with what you're doing?
Well, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Telegram. If you guys, I can give you my handles, or if not, Mandela will just add them in the description of the video after we finish.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be better like this. I do my best to answer all comments, to answer all messages, even though sometimes it's not going to be right away, but I'm usually going to reply in, I don't know, less than 10, 12 hours, most likely.
Okay, that's good. I think people like that responsiveness, and I'm a member of your Telegram, and I've always been impressed with how consistent you are. You're posting most days, and are you a team of one? Do you do most of it yourself, or?
I do most of it, all of it, not most of it. Yeah,
That's a full-time job too, and
Yeah.
trading. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, amazing. So anything else? So last question: If you were interviewing yourself, what did I miss, or what should I have asked you? Is there anything I should have asked?
Oh my God, that's a tough question. Ooh. I don't know. I think you
What are
asked
you
a
doing?
question.
I was going to say, what are you doing maybe for the rest of the year? Any sort of interesting projects for the rest of 2026?
Yes, I'm actually launching the remade version of my strategy. I'm going to deploy it for free to all of my existing paid members, all of my existing private members. Today, I've also finished my landing page. I haven't made it public yet, but I do want to get a little more involved in pushing my knowledge out there to people, putting myself out there as much as possible, because even though there is a lot of content for free that is really of good quality, I think that it's still not simplified enough. And I think the space really needs simplified ways of using complex concepts, because that's basically what I'm doing. I just take a concept like fair value gap, the most simple thing that you can use in trading from the entire ICT's arsenal of concepts. The fair value gap, which has been twisted and re-explained in so many ways that I sometimes feel that it's lost its sense, to be honest with you. I just bring it back to, like, let's not try to reinvent the wheel, you know?
Yeah.
I'm a really true believer of that.
Yeah, there are a lot of, I want to call them false gurus, or people that don't trade, and they're basically copying and reciting what they've read. But for somebody who knows about the business, I mean, the fact that you said you love trading so much that you wouldn't even automate it if you could, that shows the true passion. And you can tell when somebody's real. You can really sense it. And you speak with such passion. So thanks again, Alex, for coming on. Always a pleasure to have you with us. And we'll have to get you on again one more time, maybe before the end of the year.
Yeah, definitely. Can't wait.
All right. Okay. All right. Have a wonderful day, Alex. Bye.
Thanks, Stella. You too. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. The one and only Alex Lera. So lots of really helpful information from an experienced trader who really loves what she does. And I think there's information there for beginners, intermediates, and also experts, those who have been around for a long time. I'm not going to say anything else. I think that's it. We are going to get ready for the New York Open in about 10 minutes. But from all of us here at Signature FX, on behalf of our sponsors, City Traders Imperium, I want to say a very special thanks to our special guest, Alex Lera. Thank you for watching. And until next time, happy trading.